USDe, Athena's new stablecoin, is the fastest growing US denominated asset in the history of crypto. So they reached over $2 billion in supply within just over 100 days, which is pretty incredible. So now those who don't know Athena or know USDe, this is a synthetic dollar with native yield. It has over 130,000 users and an APY ranging from 17%. If you look at it today as we're recording, yesterday it was 37%. We were looking at it. So an APY that is jumping around a lot. Kai, why did Athena grow so fast? And is there some scary Terra LUNA vibes with another synthetic dollar here?
So let's answer why it grows so fast first. I mean, first, I would say stablecoins are just much bigger and much more well-known. So you can launch a stablecoin now and they're going to grow at much faster than, let's say, Tether did, 6 years ago when it first launched. And so, crypto in general is just bigger. There's more capital that can easily move and swap over to a stablecoin. So I would say any stablecoin that launches now is probably going to grow faster than something like USDT did. The second thing I would say is just like anything that's growing really fast, except for Base actually, is airdrop farming. Athena just launched their token, I think it was last week, and I mean, it's over like a $2 billion valuation or something like that. In terms of market cap, I think it was like 12 billion or something in FTV. But anyway, so a lot of money was tossed out to users, and I think people knew that was going to happen. So obviously, the more money you put into the stablecoin, the more you could farm for that airdrop. And I think the airdrop continues. So definitely a reason why a lot of capital is going that way. Then the other reason, as you already said, I mean, a yield of 37%, who doesn't want that, right? It is a ridiculous yield. I mean, it ranges. It's not always 37. It's sometimes higher, sometimes much, much, much lower. But it is one of the best deals you can get right now on stablecoins outside of sort of MakerDAO and so in using DAI. So there's definitely some incentives to be holding on to the stablecoin currently.
Can we talk a little bit about this yield? Like, how is it possible that a stablecoin can give a 17% yield as of today, a 37% yield, depending on which day you're looking at? How is that possible?
Yeah, so there is a big difference, by the way, of Athena and Terra LUNA. Terra LUNA had some really high yield as well. And obviously that came crashing and burning down and went literally to zero. But that was because there was the only thing backing the stablecoin of Terra LUNA was the equity of Terra LUNA, right? The token of Terra LUNA, which was not a wise decision, right? Like the moment the demand stops for Terra LUNA and people start leaving that stablecoin, well, obviously the equity of that is going to go down, and that creates just a negative spiral, right? Anyone who understood finance at that point knew that that was going to happen whenever the bull market was over. This is different. Athena is backed by Ethereum, okay? It is backed by ETH, and not just ETH, it's backed by staked ETH, okay? So it is backed by Ethereum that's actually growing on a daily basis. Now, of course, Ethereum is also very volatile, and so it could be over-collateralized, it could be under-collateralized, and so they have this mechanism where they sort of short the ETH market whenever it goes down, where they earn profits from that, and so that keeps the peg stable. There are some risks there, so again, I don't hold any of this, but it's very different than something than Terra. There is actually, native assets like native ETH that does secure and back this stablecoin. Now, the reason that the APY is because the APY can get this high is for two reasons. One, you can get some APY from staking, right? They share that staking yield from ETH to the stablecoin holders, right? And so obviously, let's say I put 1 ETH into it right now and ETH goes up and doubles over the next 3 months. Well, Athena has double the amount of ETH versus how much you have in your stablecoin, plus it's making yield on that. So it's got a bunch of extra that it can give out in yield, okay? So that's one way. The second way is through derivatives. So short, I mentioned that it shorts the market. It also does other trades around this to basically generate more yield. But it does it in a way where it's very low risk way, I would say. It's not no risk. So make sure that I didn't say no risk. I said low risk, okay? So it's basically they have a bunch of mechanisms in place that help it to remain that it has its peg to the US dollar and also that it can grow its yield. So that's why it fluctuates on a daily basis, because it depends on how volatile the markets are, et cetera. So anyway, it's a very complicated subject, and we're not going to go too much detail into the technicalities of it, but just know it's a good opportunity. It's obviously got a massive valuation. It's backed by really, really big names, but it is a very complicated protocol, I would say, and there obviously is some risk to it. It's just not the same as Terra LUNA. Let's say that.
And let's be clear here, just to clarify, yield is only provided to those who stake their USDe into SUSDe. So you don't get yield just by holding USDe.
Right.